Good evening and welcome to the 2021 UEA Engagement Awards, where tonight we will reveal the winners for the very first time. Since their inception in 2009, the UEA Engagement Awards have celebrated and recognised academics, students, staff and departments from UEA and the wider Norwich Research Park. We recognise those who have gone above and beyond to share their research and engage with public audiences in effective, creative and outstanding ways. Previous award winners have included professional services colleagues and undergraduate students, as well as seasoned academics, from enthusiastic science communicators to organisers of world-renowned literary festivals. And this year's winners are as varied and inspiring as ever. Our winners have been notified and sworn to secrecy, but are also about to find out about their fellow award winners for the first time. Because of current COVID restrictions, we've been unable to hold our usual face-to-face celebrations on our beautiful campus. Instead, we sent some award bunting to our winners and invited them to share their reactions to winning an award this year, and gave them an opportunity to thank and mention those who've supported them and been part of their journey so far. We'll also be sharing clips and trailers of projects that you can see some of this year's winners in action. So a very warm welcome to you all, whether you are winners, friends and families of winners, part of UEA and our wider community. We invite you to join in the cheering. Use the comments box below or the hashtag EngageAwardUEA on your social media channels. This year there are 18 winners within the 3 award categories: Project, Student and Achievement. For the first time, our awards panel have picked out winners in each category for special recognition, although all winners deserve huge praise for continuing their activities in what has been a very challenging year. So without further ado, please sit back and enjoy the celebratory footage that we're going to share this evening, as well as congratulating the people and projects awarded this year. And we begin with the Project Awards. Thank you.
And the first Project Award winner is UEA Sports Park with the NHS Key Worker Holiday Club. Early on in the pandemic, with schools closed and unable to provide care for the duration of NHS staff shifts, the team at UEA Sports Park felt they needed to take swift action to assist UEA health and social care partners. The service, which involves staff and student volunteers, remained free of charge to NHS employees until July 2020, thanks to funding support from Santander universities. During that time, the programme offered places to over 120 children of NHS workers and over 16,000 hours of care.
First of all, I feel an absolute fraud to be stood here with this certificate. I've only been with UEA for 4 weeks now, so I can't take any of the credit for this project. But what I would say is we're absolutely delighted to win the 2021 UEA Engagement Awards. Our project, we offered free places to NHS workers to provide childcare, showcase the benefits of a number of different agencies coming together for the greater good. I've got some thanks to give. Firstly to Mark Hitchcock, UEA Health and Social Care Partners. Him and his team were instrumental to the initial planning of the project and really helped us to understand the needs of the NHS key workers. The Sports Park staff were absolutely brilliant. They went above and beyond, worked extended hours, and we had some really great feedback from parents and carers about the service that they provided. Next to our funders, Santander Universities and the Norfolk Community Foundation, obviously without whose funding and support we wouldn't be able to offer free spaces to the NHS key workers. And lastly to the UEA staff and students who volunteered their time freely in a very kind of difficult situation, who helped make the programme an absolute success. So my thanks go to all of those people, and we're really happy and really proud to be awarded this award. Thank you.
The Special Recognition Project Award goes to Professor Eylem Atakav. Eylem was one of the very first recipients of a UEA Engagement Award back in 2009. She stayed with UEA and has gone on to become Professor of Film, Gender and Public Engagement in the School of Art, Media and American Studies. Between June and September last year, Eylem created a short documentary, Lifeline, to highlight the reality of frontline work in the domestic abuse sector in the UK. Lifeline has already had an impact on policy. UK's leading organisation on the topic, Safe Lives, created mental health support sessions for the key workers of the domestic abuse sector as a direct result of her work. Since COVID, I don't think I thought I knew what busy was. I now know what busy means.
The idea that one person at any one time could handle 250 cases just is madness.
After those first 2 weeks, calls to the helpline rocketed by up to 200%.
They were calling this the domestic abuse, a shadow pandemic.
There's Isla. There's Isla. Lily. Hello. 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 Hello, Isla. Before lockdown, home life was home life. I think that's the biggest thing. Home life was home life with the kids.
It felt like we were only doing half a job, yet despite I was working longer hours, all of those uncertain things we couldn't answer made me feel helpless, made me feel really inadequate in my role.
Start of lockdown to now, there hasn't been one session where one of us hasn't cried, and I would include myself in that.
It is a lot when you're talking about people's children and then you go and make a sandwich for your own children.
It's really hard. Lockdown's hard enough anyway. And now all of a sudden we're key workers and really important, but we're all working from our crappy laptops at home and also dealing with lockdown.
Hello everyone, I am truly honoured to be receiving this award for our project Lifeline, which involves a documentary that reveals the reality of working in the front line of domestic abuse services in the UK during the pandemic. As a scholar who is incredibly proud to carry public engagement in her professorial title, as in Professor of Film, Gender and Public Engagement, I see the key role we play as academics as collecting stories and creating visible evidence of the present moment, and of course of the feminist-led activism on violence against women. I filmed all the interviews during lockdown, the first lockdown in the UK, over Zoom, and I worked with my colleagues Tori Khan and my brilliant co-director Carolina Pelican, without whom the project would not have come to life. We are so happy that the film has already been internationally recognised in different festivals, and it received awards, including this very one, which is really meaningful for us, and it already has had impact on policy. And on behalf of the team who's behind Lifeline, I would like to extend our thanks, a heartfelt thanks to all 27 contributors to the project. We've interviewed members of the Parliament, CEOs of domestic abuse charities, both within Norfolk but also nationally, as well as the Office of the Police and Crime Commissioner for Norfolk, and also NHS. In particular, though, I really would like to extend our extreme gratitude to Gina from Aurora New Dawn and Shelley from Pandora Project in Norfolk, who have very kindly provided exclusive recordings of their experiences of working in the front line during the pandemic. Without them, again, this wouldn't have been the same. So heartfelt thank you to everyone who bestowed this award upon us. We are incredibly honoured. Thank you.
The Outstanding Project Award goes to Dr. Emma Gilberthorpe. Emma uses her discipline, anthropology, to challenge cultural stereotypes through accessible formats. Most recently, she achieved this as consultant anthropologist on a 4-part Channel 4 series, The British Tribe Next Door. Emma worked on all aspects of production and convinced Channel 4 to allow her to do a social impact assessment, a first for a British broadcasting company. Emma's involvement and commitment to the balanced and considered representation of the Himba people has created a sea change in the way production companies and media broadcasters approach working with Indigenous participants.
One British family with a house move like no other.
This is the most bonkers thing we are ever going to do in our life.
The County Durham tribe?
Is it too early for a Prosecco?
How many cows do you think I'm worth?
Two different approaches to 21st century living side by side.
All of the things that you want to get rid of.
Learning from each other what it means to be human.
It made me question myself.
A groundbreaking new 4-part series, The British Tribe Next Door.
And now to the Student Awards. In May last year, learning disability nursing student Olivia Bruin realised that many support key workers were taking the difficult step to separate themselves from family members. She was inspired to create a tribute version of Over the Rainbow, which received significant media attention. Olivia believes in involving fellow classmates, practitioners and members of the public in other projects too, including This Is Me, a special message for her fellow students for Learning Disability Week.
I heard of once in a lullaby. Somewhere over the rainbow, skies are blue, and the dreams that you dare to dream really do come true. Someday I'll wish upon a star and wake up where the clouds are far behind me, where troubles melt like lemon drops away above the chimney tops. That's where you find me. Somewhere over the rainbow, the rainbow, why then, oh why can't I?
It's an honour to have been nominated and to have achieved a UEA Student Engagement Award. This past year has been so tricky for everybody, and to have our achievements and successes recognised is so nice. I'd like to take a few moments to thank a few people who've got me to where I am today. I'd like to thank Jay, my co-rep, for her support over the past year, helping guide our cohort through the pandemic. I'd also like to shout out to my September 19 cohort, Learning Disability Nursing, for sticking by each other through one of the most tricky years of our lives. I'd also like to thank you to my course director, Kirsty Henry. Her constant support, advice and encouragement has got me to where I am today. She's pushed me to do things I wouldn't usually do, and I'm so thankful for it. I'd also like to thank Steve for his kind words towards my nomination. Congratulations to all of the nominees and all the people that have achieved something this year. It's so important to be a UEA Learning Disability nurse this year in particular. We've been pushed to our limits, and I'm so proud to be supporting the UEA Learning Disability nursing field. Thank you.
Alongside his PhD studies in the Department of Crop Genetics at the John Innes Centre, James Canham has endeavoured to make the most of opportunities to positively influence others. From the Pint of Science Festival in Norwich to instigating a UK-Kenyan research consortium. A major outcome of the consortium has been the formal identification of the pathogen associated with the highly destructive disease of the coconut, lethal yellowing disease. Work is ongoing and holds great potential to reach farmers and stakeholders to effect positive change.
Hi, I'm James. I'm honoured to be awarded this recognition. My aim over the last few years has been to engage with farmers and stakeholders, the general public and policymakers, as well as scientists. And the goal of my communication is really to promote the deployment of technology and improve well-being. Some of the engagement that I have particularly enjoyed has been with colleagues in sub-Saharan Africa, and the important work that we're doing will hopefully benefit many people in the region.
James Christie is a passionate science communicator who has contributed to Norwich Science Festival events for the past 3 years with UEA's Earth Sciences team and the E3I committee. James was a member of the Soufriere Blow team in 2018 and was significantly involved in transporting a very large model volcano from UEA to St Vincent, where he provided support to the public outreach team for Volcano Awareness Week. Bridie Davis, also from UEA's School of Environmental Sciences, was part of the Soufriere Blow and Mountain Aglow exhibitions as part of the Streva project on St Vincent and Montserrat, where she worked with multiple collaborators to develop worksheets for children aged 5 to 15 years old. Bridie has participated in the Norwich Science Festival 4 times and counting, sharing her enthusiasm for rocks with Alka-Seltzer volcanoes and a soapbox science talk featuring dry ice. More recent engagement activity includes lunchtime lava for children learning from home over the past year.
Hello, I'm Bridie.
And I'm James.
We're PhD students in volcanology here at UEA.
And we're really excited to have won an award for all our outreach work over the last 4 years.
Yeah, we wouldn't have been able to do it without the huge team behind us, so we'd really like to thank our supervisor, Jenny Barkley,
the whole of the UEA volcanology group, including our PhD colleague Jade Isles,
and Rachel Watkins and the whole team at Norwich Science Festival.
It's really great to have won this award, and there are many other people that we'd like to thank, but for now we'd just like to say we're really grateful. Thank you so much.
Thanks.
When the awards panel received 3 submissions with a crossover of themes and students involved, they recognised that there were different emphases to each, but saw a common thread, that of UEA's student engagement with social movements rooted in an opposition to racism and colonialism. The Black Lives Matter seminar series brought the BLM movement into the university experience and created links with the wider struggle for Black lives. Decolonise UEA Society and Decolonising Academic Seminars looked more explicitly at the relationship between the university and the history and culture of colonialism. Fruitful engagements were made with a range of external cultural and community organisations. Speaker organisations included Cradle Community, Sisters Uncut and Black and Brown Film. As most speakers chose to donate their fees, additional engagements were also made with the Black Cultural Archives, the George Padmore Institute and IMCAN. The collective is seeking opportunities to make the BLM seminar series an annual event.
Hi everyone, we would like to acknowledge and thank everyone involved in organising the Black Lives Matter seminar series at UEA. Alex Eaglestone, Amy Ibarra, Bryony Randell, Clarice Nicole, Hamda Ahmed,
Jim Gell, Melis Erdem, Molly Rose Medhurst, Moet Suzuki, Nana Mills Robertson, Shannon Clinton Copeland, Jing Huang, and Meg Watts for designing the incredible graphics.
We'd like to thank Ben Little for his support with finding speakers and resources, and the Faculty of Humanities and the Arts for funding the programme.
We'd like to thank the speakers and their organisations: Kate Donington, Dave Featherstone, Luke Dinaronha, Kahinde Andrews, Anshuma Mondal, Elizabeth Cobbett, Robbie Shilliam, Chelsea and Kelsey from Cradle Community, Sarah Avia Day, Cassie Carlos and Usad Yunus from the Black and Brown Film, and Shanice McBean from Sisters Uncut.
We'd also like to thank students across the university who attended this series and participated in this important conversation.
Last but not least, we'd like to thank everyone who nominated us and the judges of the UEA Engagement Awards.
Finally, we would like to emphasize the importance of anti-racism and decolonization in universities and in academia. We should never stop improving quality and diversity in higher education. Therefore, we want to continue this conversation with further events and discussions surrounding this topic, creating more spaces for students to connect with wider issues in the society. Thank you so much.
Thank you, UEA, for recognising the Decolonise UEA Society's efforts by giving us the UEA Engagement Award.
Like many initiatives surrounding decolonising, anti-racism and anti-discrimination, diversity and inclusivity, the Decolonise UEA Society's work involves continuous unpaid labour, disappointments and stress. But it also gives a sense of satisfaction that if not us, then at least the future cohorts will benefit.
I see this award as a recognition and reciprocation of our tenacious and passionate work towards decolonising.
And we hope that this gesture by the university brings a positive appeal to those working on similar initiatives, that their work will be recognised, appreciated and galvanised.
None of us created and engaged with Decolonise UEA Society expecting a grandiose award with a glass-framed certificate, but it surely feels good. Thank you, UEA.
We'd also like to thank Dr. Ulrike Turkau for nominating us in the first place, and also for writing one of the testimonials, along with Professor Alison Donnell, Professor Tessa Watt, Professor Anshuman Mondal, and Dr. Nadine Zubair. We'd also like to thank Joe Caulfield and the SU for their support in getting the Society off the ground.
Hello everyone, my name is Francesca Chiu. I'm a PhD candidate at the School of International Development. I'm one of the organizers of an online seminar series, Decolonizing Academia, along with Moya Suzuki and Tosef Mir. We are very honored to know that the UEA Engagement Awards panels have given us a student award, along with Decolonize UEA and the Black Lives Matter seminar series. We would like to take this opportunity to thank the support of Professor Anna Robinson-Pant, Dr. Ben Jones, and Dr. Ulrich Firkov for their support, Maddie Dutton from the University of Sanctuary for publicity help, as well as Dr. Chris Milor and Abbas Ayusuka for their technical support. We would also like to thank all the speakers who have participated in our seminar series. Professor Anshuman Mondal, Ms. Yun Chen, Professor Divyaj Anand, Dr. Claire Himes, Dr. Catherine Mediant, and Dr. Kavita Ramakrishnan. Lastly, I would like to take this chance to thank my colleagues Moya and Tosef for working together to make this seminar series happen. And of course, for all the many attendees around the world who have given us excellent support and feedback and questions throughout the whole seminar series. Thank you.
Neftali de Jesus Cruz Mireles has been active in public engagement since an undergraduate in Mexico, planning scientific fairs, workshops, seminars and exhibitions for rural communities. His science communication has continued while working with the Sainsbury Laboratory and UEA's School of Biological Sciences, with online science talks and news, using Facebook Live and other online platforms. He shares knowledge on molecular biology and biochemistry to assist high school students from across the world.
Hi everyone, I'm Nef, a PhD student in the Sainsbury Laboratory, and today I want to say thanks to the University of East Anglia for giving me this Engagement Award. I feel very honored to have this recognition, and also I would like to acknowledge my supervisor, Professor Nick Talbot and Dr. Frank Menke, and the Sainsbury Laboratory for giving me the support during my PhD to do all these outreach activities that I like to do. And finally, I would like to acknowledge the organizers and the University of East Anglia for giving us this recognition. I think it's very important to recognize the students that engage with public, because as a university, I think it's a responsibility that we have to do with the society. So thank you very much.
Carrying out scientific engagement during the pandemic has been a challenge to which Danny Ward has risen with flexibility and dedication, with research podcasts, Twitter projects, photography and blog collaborations. Every week across the past year, Danny has highlighted a different microbial species as part of the #52species project on Twitter. He recently started a podcast called Research in Plain English, which explains open access research papers using accessible language, and he continues to participate in projects for the British Society for Plant Pathology as well as the John Innes Centre.
Hi all, Danny Ward here. Just want to say a big thank you for this Engagement Award. I'm really very, very grateful, very honoured to be a recipient of this award today. I'd just like to say a huge thank you and a huge shout out to everyone who supported me along the way, particularly with supporting many of my science communication initiatives that I've done, both online and in person. Really big thank you, and I wouldn't be here without your support. So a big thank you, very, very appreciative. I'd also like to give a big shout out to people I've worked with closely over the years, and that being the UEA events team, the UEA outreach team, and those behind the Norwich Science Festival. Really happy for the volunteering opportunities you presented and you've given me over the years, and I'm really glad and really fortunate that I've been able to have the opportunity to help out and to learn over the years from you all. It's been a strange old year, to say the least. It's been a year which has required a lot of flexibility, adaptability and resilience, and that's been reflected in outreach. And I'm very honoured to have this award today to celebrate some of that adaptability that I've been able to show over the past year with some of these initiatives that I've been working on. So again, a massive thank you. Really, really very grateful for this award today. And hopefully over the next few months, as the situation begins to improve, I look forward to keep going with the online outreach and complement that with some in-person outreach, hopefully as things improve. So once again, a big thank you, very, very grateful, and a big well done and congratulations to all the other winners today and all the nominations. You've all done a fantastic job, and I'll see you all soon. Bye-bye.
The Special Recognition Student Award goes to Penned Online, a team project led by Tusif Mir, Ajaz Bhat and Nawal Nasir, alongside colleagues from UEA, Ifat Rashid and Mohammed Tahir, plus more than 20 volunteers from Kashmir. The group began Penned Online when they realised how precarious life would become in their home country of Kashmir during the pandemic. In less than a year, the platform has gained 33,000 followers and hosted over 50 panel discussions on subjects such as casteism, the empowerment of women, COVID safety and mental well-being in conflict. The project has broken down stereotypes and gained respect amongst Kashmiri populations globally. Since joining the John Innes Centre as a support staff member, Ruby O'Grady has made use of self-taught animation skills to communicate fundamental and molecular science to new audiences, developing effective collaborations with the art world. In 2019, Ruby instigated a collaboration with the illustration department at the Norwich University of the Arts to explore engaging ways to communicate often complex science. She also facilitated a visit by internationally acclaimed artist Henry Driver to meet John Innes Centre researchers, resulting in an eventual collaboration by the John Innes Centre to 3 exhibits and an event with Science Gallery Bengaluru.
I'm delighted to receive a UEA Engagement Award. It was a great surprise. I'd like to thank my colleagues in the Communication and Engagement team at the John Innes Centre, including my colleague Andy, who kindly nominated me. I'd also like to thank my colleagues at the John Innes Centre, outside the team, including researchers and support staff. It's great to have the opportunity to be able to help communicate such exciting science. And I'd also like to thank colleagues across the Norwich Research Park who I have the pleasure of working with.
Dr. Sam Rowe has been involved in delivery and coordination of numerous projects before and after joining the Earlham Institute in 2021. From hands-on activity stands, explainer videos, written articles, social media posts and training workshops to guest lectures and pieces for local radio. Sam tailors activities to suit his audience and collects feedback to improve and strengthen the impact of his work. As the first in his family to go to university, Sam understands the vital role of science communication in removing barriers to accessing science knowledge. Also, as part of the LGBTQ+ community, he talks openly and honestly about his experiences.
Well, hi everyone, really just wanted to say a massive thank you for the UEA Engagement Award, and that it really means a lot because science communication is something I'm really passionate about, so it's lovely to be recognised in this way. And just a huge thanks to the team involved for putting the awards together and for reviewing my application and for sending all of this wonderful bunting as well. And also just wanted to say thanks to the people that really helped me get started in science communication. So Lucy Marks from the Norfolk Network and also the UEA Careers and Events teams, just for those first opportunities where I could really find my feet and learn loads of different things in science communication. And also I've recently joined the Earlham Institute as a public engagement officer, so it's great to be back working on the Norwich Research Park again, because there's loads that I want to do, there's loads I need to learn, and just going to be working really hard to support the LGBTQ+ community in everything that I do, and also to support new people in science communication, just to make sure that they can get the experience in this area if they want it, so that beyond that, all of us can just work to make science in general as accessible as possible to everyone. So thanks again, and hopefully see you all soon.
A Special Achievement Award this year is for Enabling Engagement, which goes to the team at UEA's Media Suite, led by Sean Thompson. The team support colleagues at UEA with all aspects of digital production, but also work with external partners such as the BFI Film Academy for their Norfolk and Suffolk programme. Over the past year, the team have kept the facility open with new distancing protocols to enable staff to record and stream from the suite. The team's good nature and skill supported virtual activities filled sometimes in challenging venues, such as Norwich Science Festival at Home, which enriched and inspired children learning from home. A Group Achievement Award goes to the Pre-University Skills Programme, led by Director Harriet Jones from UEA's School of Biological Sciences. The programme celebrates its 10th anniversary this year and continues to address concerns, provide resources and support students in their academic transition to university.
Thank you so much for this wonderful award. We're really excited about being given this award. Not only is this a great thing for us, but it's also our 10th anniversary. This programme has run as a programme for teachers, it's run as a summer school, and more recently as an open line course with FutureLearn.
And since its establishment over 10 years ago, 350 teachers have been trained nationally and internationally. And within the MOOC, around 75,000 learners have completed it. And these learners are a variety of different ages and come from a variety of different backgrounds.
There are lots of people here that we'd like to thank. Right from the beginning, 10 years ago, Nick Goodwin was instrumental in moving us all forward, managing the team and the project. Caroline Still from EDU was a really important member of the team, as was Helen Webster from Student Support, whose material we're still using today. Julia Cameron has been with us throughout. She took all the still photographs that have been used throughout the programme. We had help from lots of organisations. Wyndham High School, Adrian Bavage was great in helping us pilot the programme, as did people at CNS, City of Norwich School. Norfolk County Council and Aim Higher were both really helpful in getting the programme launched. We then did lots of filming at the Perth School in Cambridge and Wyndham College. We ran a summer school for many years and Joe Kennedy was just brilliant in helping that run. But we also had lots of help from Jeremy Schilt, Zoe Jones, Selena Watts and Kay Yeoman. Tom Martin has filmed with us throughout. Right back 10 years ago, he was a second-year undergraduate and he started filming with us. Now he's got his own thriving filmmaking company. Paul Wright at IT has been just fabulous all through. Kath Sharrock as well, absolutely fabulous person, helping us get everything right, especially with regards to the literature content. Moving forward, we've had a great team helping look at the MOOC, evaluate it and do lots of work there. Chris Bishop, Rachel Paddingbold have both been important with that. And my two friends here, Heather Monsey and Stephanie Jong, absolutely brilliant in helping move this whole programme into the next 10 years.
We are currently working closely with colleagues in the evidence and evaluation team to gather stronger evidence of the impact of the course. We are also working closely with colleagues in marketing to develop a social campaign to further increase the uptake of students from underrepresented backgrounds in higher education taking the MOOC. We look forward to see the development of the MOOC in the years to come.
Yay! Now you say I forgot to press the button.
Special recognition for achievement this year goes to Dr. Kate Blake-Holmes from UEA's School of Social Work. The beginning of lockdown 2020 moved Kate to act on concerns she had about the implications for young carers, an already high-risk group of children and young people. Kate reached out to local carers organisation Caring Together and offered to engage in a piece of research with them. The study aimed to explore the impact of the COVID-19 lockdown restrictions on young carers and benefit them by increasing recognition and awareness of their needs. Throughout lockdown, views of young carers about their current experiences were captured and used to inform the provision of effective support and to identify urgent support needs. Kate's responsive research gave considerable voice and recognition to young carers, both locally and nationally, at a time when their needs could have been overlooked.
Thank you so much for recognising this study and the importance of research focusing on the needs of young people. This study was born out of a bee in my bonnet, a hang on, what about the young carers moment, as the pandemic, the lockdown restrictions and the Coronavirus Act came crashing down upon us last year. But it's unlikely that it would have ever got any further without the passion and the enthusiasm of Andy McGowan, Head of Carer Services at Caring Together. The fantastic ideas and insight of the young people at the Norfolk Young Carers Forum, and the support, guidance and willingness of my colleagues in the School of Social Work. I'm so proud to have been able to do this work and elevate the voices of young people at such a difficult time. But the story doesn't stop here. We need to continue to raise the profile of young carers and their families. We need, as academics, health and social care professionals and policymakers, to strive to work with the whole family in mind and to celebrate young carers for the extraordinary individuals that they are. So many thanks, and I hope you have a good evening.
Hi everyone, good evening. Hope you've had a wonderful night. I am not one of the winners this year, and you know what? I couldn't be happier because it seems these awards have gone to some truly incredible people and amazing projects. I'm Professor Ben Garrett, and although I have still relatively only recently joined UEA, it never ceases to amaze me just how dedicated, inspired and gutsy we are in terms of what we want to achieve and what we get done. I'm actually here right now on the campus for the first time in well over a year, so I'm a bit of an elusive wild species right now, and I'm actually about to give a live lecture about UEA, the science that's being done and some of our achievements recently. But I couldn't let this go without saying a massive well done to everyone, those who won an award and those who were entered as well, very importantly. You know what, at UEA we just get stuff done, don't we? It's been a really tough year where so much of our society has closed down, and yet look what's being achieved, look what's being done in the worst possible conditions around us. Huge, huge achievement to everyone right there. If you want to look at what's being done and get any more information about the awards this evening, then there is a link that should be here somewhere right now. And also, if not, look this evening and tomorrow online on Twitter at the hashtag, at UEA Events account as well. Once again, huge achievement, well done, and looking forward to see what else is being done in